Okay, we're live again tonight, y'all. Hey, we made it in, and once again, Daryl doesn't show up. His own show. Hey, celebrate with us tonight. He's laid up in bed. He's laid up in bed again. So.
Oh goodness.
But, how's your week been, Steve?
Oh, it's been amazing. I did a couple of firsts and getting ready for a tournament, and the temperatures out here are like record-breaking 80-something degrees in March. I can't wait. I'm excited. How was your weekend? Or week, actually.
Deal. Yeah, that's right. You're going to leave next week, be going out playing and all instead of fishing a tournament. I mean, you know, I just can't understand.
Well, sometimes when the boss says you got to do this, you got to do that. And I don't mean the one at my work job either.
Yeah. Hey, the one that you sleep with is a whole lot more important than the one you work with.
Yeah. She smothered me with my pillow, so I'm good.
That's right. Okay. Now we're going to introduce our special guest for tonight. This is Mrs. Run and Gun. This is Julie. She is huge in conservation. Their show is
Go on, son. Jeez, old Pete's. That's my 13-year-old. I said, can you please bring me a piece of gum quietly?
No. Don't
he about took me out. He about took me out. So, anyway, where were we?
Okay. Julie has a partner named Ashley. And they host a show called The Last Run. It's on Wednesday nights, 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central. And she, let's see, how do you put that? She runs a show, or runs a thing called Run and Gun, which is her husband, Charlie. She takes care of all of that. She manages, just tell him to come on in.
I mean,
we don't care.
I'm kind of in the way. He's all right.
Okay.
Got
your water.
Procrastinating. Yeah, but, so I run all of the Run and Gun social media for Charlie. He makes sure there's fish, and I make sure there's video. And then, you know, I'm a co-host of the podcast, The Last Run with Ashley. And then
also, what you said about that a minute ago. About the title to y'all's show.
The Last Run, because if we do not start worrying about conservation of catfish, there will be a last run one day. How about that?
Absolutely.
So, you know, it's a combination of the last call catfishing and run and gun catfishing. It was what we came up with. And then, you know, Giant Tamer as well. So I run Giant Tamer, our tackle company that I have a partner with. So, yeah. And I'm a nurse, and I'm a married single mother because my husband works on the road. So we're busy.
And he comes in and he fishes when he's home. And
actually, he took his boat up with him this time. So, yeah, it's up in Ohio, and he's going fishing this weekend and next weekend. So,
guys, if you get a chance to watch Charlie puts on a good show. He don't say a whole lot of anything. Julie has to be there for him to talk. But but he catches a bunch of good fish and wears it out up on the Ohio River where they say there is no fish.
Yeah.
But I'm going to bet Ashley can't get in because she still ain't here.
I know. I'm kind of confused because I had talked to her earlier and sent her everything.
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question. Hey, so isn't the Ohio the one that's getting beat up the most by like pay lakes and all that? Is that because I'm over in Utah, so I'm only catching part of it, and we don't have giant catfish out here. We only have channel cats, bullheads, and carp. That's why I fish carp, because that's like the biggest fish we got around here, basically.
The Ohio River has been hammered. Notoriously been hammered for commercial fishing purposes, especially targeting trophy catfish. The state of Ohio does not allow commercial fishing of catfish, but Kentucky does. There is a special permit that I believe 15 people hold in the state of Kentucky, and they can take 4 overs per day with that license or that permit. And then anyone else, it's, I think, 2. I'm pretty sure 2 per day if you have a commercial fishing license. So of course, trophy catfish go to pay lakes. I don't know that there is a market for trophy size catfish in the meat industry, like for human consumption, but there are also dog food. There's a dog food plant that probably does take trophy size catfish. I just don't have the figures on that information, but anyway, right now, from what I understand, a lot of the big pay lake commercial fishermen are hammering the Mississippi River. So that is being looked at right now. It's under a little bit of a microscope because Fish and Wildlife, or DNRs, in the areas that have the Mississippi River are watching now. So there is, I think some people could say that the Ohio River in the northern parts, it's starting to look a little bit better as far as the numbers, but that's because those numbers were depleted and now they've moved somewhere else, if that makes sense. Anyone can correct me if you think I'm wrong. That's fine. I'm always open to friendly debate on different things and open to learning new information and numbers. And I'm all about education. I always try to answer things to the best of my knowledge, but I'm always open to show me where I'm wrong, because I'm okay to be wrong. But data and facts.
I ain't never met a woman that admitted that she was wrong on anything. You
want to know what? If Charlie was on here, he would probably agree. I am one of the few. He is usually always right. It is what I don't even hate to say it. It's just true. Like, he really is right a lot, and I'm not kidding. Like, I don't usually fight it because I look, when I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. So, yeah, okay. A rare breed over here.
Okay. Y'all, let's say hello real quick to the chat in here tonight. We got H. Lee Osborne. We got Hook Daddy Outdoors. Don't know who Hook Daddy is. He's a new one to us. He may be one of Julie's friends. I don't know. But anyway, he's in here. We appreciate him coming in tonight. We got Miss Chrissy Brown. And look, Sampy comes in 4th tonight. What's the deal, Sampy? You ain't never that late. Pontoon Jody's in here. Jody wants to know when the gathering is. Trophy Seeker said it's been canceled for her. But
again,
she gonna have her own little deal there. Catch Fish with Us, Chris, and Miss V is in here too. I seen her down there. Slow night tonight. I'm having trouble reading tonight anyway. Kevin P's in. Kevin started coming in. You got him in here, Steve, and he shows up every week now. We got Dan with Boer Boys in here. Rowdy Royal stepped in. There's Jason Terry from JTS Outdoor Life. Who else we got in here? Let's see here. It's a cycle. Oh, here it is. V says it's a cycle. They destroy it, then watch tournaments and social media to see when they move back in. Once there's consecutive numbers, they come back and they take again.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Donald Knight. V is pushing this as well, pushing conservation real hard, trying to help with different ones and different people and deal with that, because they've got a ton of pay lakes up in Ohio, and so they just she's right in the middle of it, knee deep.
Mm-hmm.
But but she works with a lot of different people as well. How much success have y'all had getting people to listen to you, getting the people that know what's going on.
What side are you talking about? From any side in particular of this debate? I kind of consider the like recreational anglers, then commercial, then pay lake,
Yeah,
/owners. Which does it matter as a whole?
it doesn't matter.
So I've talked to everyone. I like not everyone, obviously, but like I've talked to people that are commercial fishermen. I've talked to people that are pay lake owners and pay lakers myself. I've reached out. I've been told so much as, girl, why are you even trying? There will never be a day where there will ever be common ground. The end, point blank. I don't know why you're trying. Respectfully. It was a respectful conversation. And I'm like, man, because I like to believe that there's good in everyone. Not maybe we all do bad things. We've all done bad things in life, right? But I always like just kind of want to have this hope that there are people that have integrity, honesty, and the ability to see beyond just themselves and their thoughts, that it's worth trying to form a bridge or a relationship to be like, look, I don't hate you for what you do. Charlie grew up on Pay Lakes. He went to Pay Lakes when he was a kid. I went to them when I met him, and they weren't for me. I didn't enjoy my time where we were at. But I mostly just went there to be near him. Does that make sense? And it was one of the ones that isn't considered to be very ethical. I'll just leave it at that. But anyway, once we moved away and got a boat and he went river fishing, because like, let me just start by saying Pay Lakes weren't his passion. He was a bull rider. That's him right there.
Oh.
So that's just what he did in his spare time. Was, every once in a while, if he had a free weekend and stuff, he'd go fishing with friends and stuff like that. And, it's an easy place to go catch fish, I'll be honest. But there are some out there, especially when he was a kid, Southern Ohio, that they were ran in a way that they weren't overstocking and overpopulating. There was a couple really good fish in there. And so he had a good time, fishing there as a teenager, before he could drive. So anyway, I have more of a neutral kind of thought on Pay Lakes, and to me, if they're ran well and ethically and not overstocking, and you're not juicing, a term that you guys probably know, where chemicals are added into the water and whatnot, I feel like there is a purpose for Pay Lakes, and that there can be some that are ran well, but from different sides, people have been willing to listen. I've talked to people that were cussing me in Messenger just to say, like, hey, I'm not who you think I am. I'm not what you think I am. I don't hate you, and it's helped. But I think a lot of people are scared that are in that side, that are the Pay Lake owners, the fishermen and the commercial anglers that fish for them. But, I just feel like there has to be some kind of common ground. There needs to be some kind of ethical running for these types of things. So
yeah, Lance McCall guy's got a good point.
Yeah,
the Pay Lakes are okay. The trophy Pay Lakes are bad. The a regular Pay Lake, they're stocking them with 3 to 8 pound fish. You can take the time to raise a fish to 8 pounds, 10 pounds. You can't take the time for a fish to grow to 30 or 40 pounds.
Yeah.
How many years does that take?
20.
Yeah, it just
20
depends.
years?
Honestly, it depends on the amount of bait. So I think that there's some data that can explain that if they have a larger amount of access to bait, a larger quantity of bait fish, they can grow faster than maybe a more sparse area or more overly populated, with catfish. If there's not enough bait to sustain their faster growth, it's not going to happen. But yes, years is the answer. It's not like, a deer.
Decade.
How long have you been doing this, Julie? How long you been pushing this?
A year this month. Ashley and I started. So we started because of CatCon. Shortly after CatCon, some people were Facebook posting about, you're all there and pushing products, but who was there talking about conservation? And Ashley kind of approached me and said, why not us? Why not start talking about conservation? So we did. March last year, I think, is when our first episode was. We've been somewhat inconsistent with life changes on my behalf. So our time has kind of changed. We've had to take some breaks throughout just because of life changes over here. But we always come back to it. And we've met a lot of people that have been working hard. And we kind of wanted to bring a voice to those who don't have as, not that my platform's huge, but, I put a lot of time into growing Run and Gun over the past 3 years. So we thought, why not us? And we hear from those who are doing the groundwork that don't have the platform to talk about it. And so that's kind of where we bridge that gap too. So yeah. And also coming from a less aggressive standpoint and more of like fact-based and evidence-based, not mudslinging, if you will. We try our best to do that. We don't get a lot of negativity though, I'll be honest. It's happened a couple of times, but nothing like I anticipated. I thought there'd be a lot of people on there mad, but like that don't like what we're doing, but we haven't had that. So I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
I thought I read somewhere that there were 43 of the commercial licenses, and that was it. I mean, for, I don't know whether it was Kentucky or Illinois or somewhere like that. Tennessee has done away with netting, but now they will run trot lines. You can run a big trot line, but the recreational fisherman is only allowed one fish over 34 inches. And they try to watch it, but down here we've got like, I think it's 12. It ain't more than 10 or 12 game wardens out on the road, out in the field, in the entire state of Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's the same way with Kentucky and everywhere else. It's so hard. Everybody says, well, they ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing their job.
Yeah, we got a ton of them out. Same thing.
Last year was the first year that Charlie can recall. Was it last year? I think it was. It was either last year or the year before. The first time Charlie can recall, and he's been fishing here for 8 years by boat, just to put it in perspective. We got our first boat about 8 years ago. And it was the first time, I think was last summer, that they started checking. And that, I found out later, was what had to do with Operation River Raid, which I think most of y'all have heard about it, but it was the big sting in Kentucky. And they had 25 people charged, I think 300,000 pounds, which I've been told by a commercial fisherman is just a drop in the bucket of what was actually taken, just to throw that out there. But yeah, but most of it was rod and reel. You're not allowed to, there were some people that were grandfathered in to rod and reel fish still commercially, but when they did away with that and finalized it, they didn't quit. And that was a handful of those 25 individuals that are being charged. So we'll see what happens with that, because it's not over.
What is the latest that you've heard going on that? Are they just now waiting for trial?
Yeah, I think that that's the stage that they're at. I haven't heard anything new since the publications that have gone out. I don't think there's any changes currently to that. I've been told that should all come at the end of this year.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's, when that hits, that can make a big influence. I mean, my dad, for example, he never pays any attention to this kind of stuff, but he has seen them talking about it. My son-in-law has seen it being talked about and has taken the time to read some articles on it. Mm-hmm. And both of them have asked me questions, but it makes it tough. There's a lot of guys out there that, we were down in Louisiana. There were commercial fishermen down there. We saw a dozen of them the day we were out. but they don't want the 20 and 30 pound fish, the 50 and
Yeah.
75 pound fish. They want their commercial fishermen for food fish. They want fish that are, 10, 15 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
If it gets much bigger than that, they throw them back. They'll tell you, hey man, over here I caught 14 of them, that were monsters, but they all threw them back.
That's what so the first time that we went to Louisiana, it was around the time that we met Creole Catfishing. You guys surely know him, right? So Jeremy,
that's where we were at. That was where we were at the day that we saw all the guys. We were with him.
Yeah, and he had told me on the live. He said the commercial fishing here, we don't target those. We don't catch those. Those fish go back. And they respect that there. And it's just interesting how you've got some Illinois commercial fishing boats down there now.
Yep.
And yeah.
And like V said, these guys, these commercial fishermen that are going for these trophy fish, take the time to watch Run and Gun Charlie.
Mm-hmm.
They take the time to watch these live tournaments that we're having and everything, looking for these big fish.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, they're finding them and they're chasing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, terrible. Because then you ain't gonna have any for our grandkids to fish, or kids or anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
If nobody has a voice, then it's just gonna die with everybody.
Yeah.
That's the future.
Exactly.
But Julie, I know you don't fish a whole lot. You might hang out on the boat with Charlie a lot.
Yeah. I'm just there for a good time.
Yeah.
Just there to mess things up.
What is your biggest fish? Biggest catfish?
67 pounds.
See, I told you.
And I am one of the smallest in our family. And I'm talking the Run and Gun family. I think the second smallest fish out of Charlie, his dad, his mom, his brother, my daughter. I'm like, what? How did I get this low? I could have had 2 different 78s, but I didn't take the rod because I can't ever live down the live where I lost the hundo, on TikTok. That was December 3 years ago. I never felt a rod pull so hard in my life. And he said, there goes our state record. So now I just don't even like taking the rod. You
gotta take the chance.
I know. I'm just so afraid because I can't live that down. Even Maddie roasts me. She's 10 and she'll be like, yeah, mom always loses or misses the fish. And I'm like, oh.
Well, me and Lisa have been chasing trophy catfish for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
2 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 years. We went to our first cat con 2 years ago.
Oh, me too.
But we got into this. Her biggest fish is 74 pounds.
That's awesome.
Mine is 69. And I told her the other day, I said, Josh, the Monday on Catfish Weekly. Yeah, Josh Dunnigan caught him a new PB this weekend. It was 50 pounds.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And me and her are talking, we have come into this and we've been very, very fortunate. And it's been amazing to get to catch the fish that we have. But I've also been told that the fish that we're catching now are so few and far between down here that it's not even funny.
So where are you fishing out of?
We're East Tennessee. We're on the Tennessee River.
Okay.
The headwaters of the Tennessee River are 20 miles up the road, and we fish it all the way down to the Alabama line.
Okay, cool.
We take off and go to Mississippi every now and then and stuff like that, but the big fish here used to, they said you go out and you fish for a day and you'll catch 2 or 3 of them that weigh 50 pounds. And now you go out and you fish for a week and you hope to hook up to one for 50 pounds.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, even here was rough. I mean, we got hit hard. Basically, 2024 and then 2025, and it hasn't even been the same as it was in previous years. Now, granted, last year we had a ton of crazy spring water, so maybe some things changed. But even bait, Kentucky finally started a better bait. Oh my gosh, what's the word?
Management.
Yeah, that. So you can't take that.
Limits.
Yes, the limit, the skipjack limit, and it was needed. I mean, there's people that have told me they're catching thousands in one day and taking them home.
I know a guy that was catching. He would go and catch 500 or 600, 3 or 4 days a week, and then he would sell them the other 3 days a week, and then he'd turn around and go right back.
Mm-hmm. So there's limits, but again, limits don't matter if we don't have someone to regulate. So I'm hoping that somebody can, because heck, I had somebody cut my line. I haven't been skipjack fishing by myself since. I cried my whole way home. I'm such a baby. But he never gave it back, nothing. All my jigs took them. And I'm like, because we got hung up together. I was like, I don't fit in with all these guys.
This has to have been recent, because I saw you out catching bait for Charlie a year ago.
That's when I stopped. Was a year ago. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, I just went home and never went back. He needs me to catch him bait again, but I just don't know. Not with people.
We don't.
I need a sure clear distance. Social distancing.
Yeah, we don't have. Used to, you would come down here and you could go down here below Loudon and catch 100 in just a little bit and go home. You go to below Chickamauga, catch 100, go home. You could go and catch all kinds of them, and now we haven't had any skipjack in the Tennessee River in a year and a half. And but I think a lot of ours. V says the bait problem it was because of the popularity of catfishing taking off, and bait regulations are set for less numbers of fishing.
Which all did, right? So now I think that is 100 limit. I think the limits are the same as Tennessee now. Somebody can correct me if they're wrong, but
Tennessee's made a good deal.
And they check too. I've been checked down there before. Yeah.
But yeah, V, Tennessee has made some changes in the last 2 or 3 years. But I mean, I was talking to somebody last week, and over at Kentucky, Barkley or Smithland Dam, if you want to go right now, they're there. But I don't have enough. I don't have a place to be able to keep them. Yeah. We got two freezers. One of them is for our food, and then one of them is for bait. But we also had the hurricane that hit up in the mountains.
Yeah.
And dumped so much debris through the water system and so much water through that it just, I mean, they run our dam over here by us. I live by Fort Loudon Dam, and they run so much water through it. They had the gates open for a month and had all the gates open and the turbines going.
Does that just push all the bait somewhere else, and then all the big fish just go wherever that goes, right?
Yeah.
Don't know where it is.
That's crazy.
Jody says, I think that the flood on 40 had an impact on the bait. It happened after that on all the different water systems here.
Yeah. That's what I was hoping, because it seemed like skipjack was just impossibly hard, more than usual. But we had just record inches of rain last spring. Yeah. So that probably has something to do with it.
Yep. Oh, I agree 100%. you know, but now we're struggling. We're struggling to find bait still.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows about the magic spot of Kentucky Dam. And
Never heard of it.
Huh?
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
What?
Everybody goes to Kentucky Dam for bait. You know that.
And cut your jigs off your line too.
That's right.
I was too chicken to say anything, so I just packed the stuff and went home.
You know, that is a bad part of our industry. We're not people. You take Jody. Jody is a badass catfishing lady.
Mm-hmm.
If Jody comes in and snipes everybody, used to come in and snipe everybody all the time. She's letting it slack here lately. But
it's rude.
She runs everything out there, and it is so, so many people are so disrespectful now in everything, so it makes it a whole lot harder.
Absolutely.
I remember watching you go out and catch bait while Charlie was on the road, where when he got home, the bait was sitting there. You had already packed. You'd already you vacuum sealed it. You had it on ice. You had everything set up, the whole thing.
Yep.
And
I'm probably gonna have to do it again soon too, because I just know his time's so limited. He's already wanting me to get started for this weekend.
Hey, it's too late to get started for this weekend, because this is Thursday evening.
Right. Well, I got till Sunday, so
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's got a tournament Sunday.
Okay. Mm-hmm. V says, as well as the extreme bipolar or Mother Nature these last few years, she needs to get up to date on her meds.
100%. I couldn't agree more. Hey, I wish you lived closer. I'd get you a whole bunch of bait, as long as it was carp that you wanted.
We don't want carp.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. We will take carp.
Yeah.
See?
But.
Yeah. I tell Charlie, I'm like, dude, just take chicken. Like, if all else fails, at least you have chicken. He doesn't like that.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm going to tell you what. Me and Lisa went a couple of years ago, and that's all we had was chicken.
We threw it, and it caught the biggest fish of the day. I caught a 40 on it.
And she pounded on me with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm telling you, the fish were taking plain chicken breast, thawed out Tyson chicken breast.
Yep.
And it hit that, and it never touched the shad. We tried all three. It was just more for like a live thing, because everybody wants to know, you use eel, do you use chicken? And he's like, fine, get some chicken. Like, we'll try it. And I mean, it worked. It worked fine. So that's why I always tell him, if you think you're gonna be low on bait, get some stinking chicken. He doesn't do it often, but
yeah,
he's done it a couple times.
Okay, Julie, I know you're on TikTok. What's your TikTok handle? Or what's your TikTok channel?
It's Run and Gun Catfishing.
Okay.
I'm on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. But I'll be honest, the restrictions over there are so bad that I think we've already got the store link, like the Roam or the mini one.
Yeah.
So when we do start going live again, we'll probably just come to YouTube. Because every time I blink, I've done something wrong and I'm restricted over there anymore. So I've just kind of quit doing content. And usually if I do post over there, it's just because I want the better editing system than what Facebook has to offer. So, yeah.
Well, I hadn't done any editing on Facebook.
It's awful.
Yeah. But
it's so hard.
Oh, I love editing on TikTok.
It's so easy over there. But yeah, Facebook, like, it'll glitch. If I've done too many different, like, cuts and stuff, it'll just, like, quit playing audio altogether. Or it just won't even let me open it anymore because I've done too much. I'm like, just let me live my life.
Yeah, it's mine. Let me do what I want.
Yeah, it's slacking over on Facebook, but
How long have y'all been online doing this catfishing?
January was 3 years. We started, Charlie's been fishing, like I said, for pretty much 8 years. And once he started figuring out the water here, I mean, there's friends of ours that have lived here locally that don't like, he's earned some respect from actual commercial fishermen over here because they see he's figured it out, you know? And that came from the horse's mouth when I'm in my search for people to talk to, right? So he's like, he's got it figured out, you know, it's pretty impressive. He's like, I've been watching you guys live and things like that. But anyway, so once he started getting things figured out, he would like show me pictures and I'm like, man, that's awesome. You should put that on Facebook. So he just put a post, but he's not going to try, you know?
Yeah.
But for me, I had done Instagram and became, you know, fairly successful in 2017 with Home Decor World. So the more he started catfishing, I just didn't really care. The kids were little. When we first were fishing out here, he didn't know anywhere to go. We were bored. They were little. We started hiking. He just went fishing and we lived our separate lives, right? So when he started doing better and better and, you know, he's won or placed in a couple tournaments and stuff, he's like, Julie, I really love doing this. Like, I'd really like to try and go further. And I said, listen, I'll try and help you and I'll try and like fishing. So we went to our first tournament together, which is my first video on YouTube that I ever posted under Run and Gun Catfishing. And that was the tournament where Charlie caught a 65. And I had never seen a fish like that in real life before. I'd seen the pictures. And he told our daughter, who was 7 at the time, baby, this one's too big for you, but the next one's yours. And I'm like, you know, we're waiting and waiting and waiting. And the next fish we got wasn't until, I mean, that was 7:30 that he caught the first one. The second one did not hit until 2 p.m. And it was 72 pounds. So even bigger than his. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, it was just such a great memory. I was hooked. So that's how I just started posting videos. It didn't take long to start kind of working with brands and stuff, but it's not like home decor over here in the fishing world. I'm here to tell you, working with brands and home decor, you're getting stuff. You get paid pretty early. Like, it's going good. But over here, you know, it's not like that. But it's been fun anyway. Met a lot of people.
Dan Boer's got it made. His wife, or his wife to be, is a teacher.
Uh-huh.
She takes the kids out to catch bait during the day in the summer.
Yep.
To entertain them, and then he's got the bait for that evening and all.
That's awesome.
I did.
Speaking of nice fish, this is Dominic Wallace.
Wow.
We fished. We met and we're on the water at 9:30 Saturday morning. Friday morning, and he caught this fish about 8:15 Friday night. We caught one other fish about 10 minutes before that, about a 2-3 pound flathead, and then he hammered into this one. That was 46 pounds, and it was a hog. And then here's Hooker Thomas with a tiger musty.
That's my very first one.
That's pretty.
It is. That's a beautiful fish. He was carp fishing when he caught it, so I don't think it should count.
Oh, no, it counts. And if it wasn't for that RCT hook, that circle hook, I'd have lost him because he jumped right out of the net. I got a video with Tyler trying to net him. Yeah, he didn't want no part of that. That's when I found out that Tyler's way uglier than me. That fish didn't want nothing to do with him.
Okay. What is your worst fishing story? Julie, we're talking to you.
You are? I thought you were going to ask Steve that one. Okay.
No, I ain't worried about Steve.
Man, I got a couple of worse ones.
The line cut sounds pretty bad.
You what?
Getting your lines cut sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, no, this one was bad. So I was meeting up with Charlie, and he had our son and his little friend with him. And this was, gosh, he was probably 11 or 12. And I was just coming, I think I was getting off work. So I was meeting him at the ramp, and he called me as I was pulling up. He said, Julie, Weston has a hook in his butt. Which is
In
our
his butt.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm here. So he came over. What happened was he cut his jigs, like the actual circle jig heads he was using for catching skipjack, I guess. He cut it and just threw it in the boat. Well, somehow it got on my son's friend's shoe, and another one, he like tried to kick it off. It was on my son's shorts and sunk.
Oh, man.
And he said, I don't know what to do. If I pull it out, the barb's going to pull flesh. My other option is to push it through. He pushed it through. It was awful. I felt so bad. Like that, I know that's not like fishing, but that's fishing. Like,
oh, that sounds good enough.
It was awful. I felt so bad for that kid. I had him bite on a koozie and squeeze my hand. It was the words that child said. I was not very happy. But anyway, that's like the worst, like worst fishing story. And then the worst actual me fishing kind of thing was we had the triple up. We were fishing. It was nighttime. It was December. We're live. The first fish I reeled in, 58 pounds. Charlie goes and like sets that third hook because that third was just dink, dink, dink. He thought it was going to be a dink anyway. So I reel up the other one. It ended up being 62 pounds. I go to get the third. He's showing that second one off, I forget to lift the rod over the rod in my hand. So I like pass it around the other.
Mm-hmm.
It was pulling so hard that I was almost nervous that I was going to drop it. And I was like, this is weird. So I always reel with the butt in my hip, and I'm reeling, and all of a sudden my back is tense. My hamstrings are pulling, and this fish is giving me heck. And Charlie's showing it. He's like, he'll tell the story and say like, she was making all kinds of noise back there. And he looks back and he's like, oh my gosh, what do you got on there? And it was pinching my hip skin, like as the butt was lifting up as the tip was going down. And that was the moment and he'll try and say, oh, you pulled up or whatever. No, I did not. You can see it in the video. But all of a sudden, it must have just had the meat, just the whisker, just the outside, because that hook came up all by itself and no fish. And everybody saw it.
Lost the hundo.
Yeah, lost the hundo, the Kentucky state record. And I never even got to see it, didn't even get a glimpse of him. He was so deep down, straight down. It was a very sad day.
Me and Lisa was fishing, and we were anchored out in 70 feet of water, March 2nd. And, I'm sitting there watching one of the rods on the front of the boat, just doing this right here. And I said, go up there and catch that little channel cat. He'd been doing it for 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. She went up there and cranked down. And that's a holy beat fish. And we got it on video from the hook up till we got it in the boat. And it was 74 pounds. We got it up, and I took the phone. We didn't have a stand or anything for it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I took the phone and threw it over on the side, and it's face down, and you hear me talking. And we got it up into the net, and when we got it in the net, I knew it was done. And then we couldn't lift it over the front of the boat to get it in.
Oh my goodness!
And
problem.
That was a problem. But the funniest story was Friday night. We fished all day, and I ain't thinking about nothing. We're having a good time. We're sitting out there talking and just enjoying the company. And and Dom gets this fish on, and I'm like, I get to looking. I can't find her spotlights or anything like this. So all we've got is a little LED light on top of the Bimini top, and normally it puts out enough light that you can see. So I'm fighting this fish and Dom's fighting this fish and I'm trying to get it in the net. I can't see it. So take my phone and turn the flashlight on the phone. And I still can't see this fish. I mean, it's dark. I get finally another girl that was on the boat takes the phone and I dip the fish. We get in the boat and all, good day. And I would, I'd sit there and fish till 10, 11 o'clock, but I couldn't see. It's too dark and didn't have no lights. We got everything loaded up. I told him, I said, let's just go to the house. So we all loaded up. I took off up the interstate and I stopped to get dinner. And I walked in to wash my hands and I looked up and I had my sunglasses on.
Are you serious?
Listen, he calls me when he leaves the ramp and he goes, I couldn't do nothing. I could not see. I couldn't. It just got super, super dark. And I'm just, because I had left. I left at like 3 o'clock and came home. And because I had stuff to do before the next day. And he walks in the bathroom and he goes, well, I was like, funny. What? Because I'm thinking, something's wrong. When he says it that way, I'm kind of thinking something's wrong. He goes, I had my sunglasses on, and I said, dang it, Dom, why didn't you tell him you still had his sunglasses?
Yeah, you would think you'd mention that. That's funny.
But I got, we left because I couldn't see. I got in a truck to take the boat around to back the trailer in the water, and it was so dark still. I got out and checked the headlights to make sure they were on.
Oh my God.
And I drove 50 miles home and stopped and walked in the store to get something to eat. Walked in there to wash my hands off, and when I looked in that mirror, I was like, dang. And I was wound up. I was excited. I didn't want to quit fishing, but
That is
That's a good story.
I told his daughter, and now she gives him crap about it.
Heck yeah, that's hilarious.
But I've wore glasses since I was 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had sunglasses before, so you never had to swap them out.
Yeah.
And I've got some sunglasses now for the first time ever. And so I guarantee you it won't happen again.
Yeah, you'll remember next time. You'll check next time.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that's
speaking of tournaments, we have the Way Out There Tournament Series, first tournament of the year coming up next weekend. It is the Dock Demon. You got to use a rod less than 4 feet long. It's got to be a lightweight rod, similar to the Dock Demon. But if you got a couple laying around the house and you don't have, use a kitty rod's what it boils down to.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go out and buy new rods, but it's got to be a lightweight rod. The reel needs to be an ultralight type reel. And that tournament is from 9 to 3. Final sign up is next Thursday night at the end of our show. Right now, we've got 2 hosts and may work on the third one. And, but that's a good thing about the Wokes tournament, Julie.
Mm-hmm.
Get your fish live, you weigh them, and you release them.
Yeah, we like doing online tournaments because of that format.
And ours is purely for the fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
The entry fee is $0.
Oh, cool.
If you win the tournament, it's $0.
Cool.
Let's see here.
Nope, it's up here.
This is no.
Not for the next week's
Oh.
tournament.
Well, where's it at up there?
It's in this box because I've got everything
Oh, okay.
like that.
If you win the tournament, you get just
Bragging rights.
Huh?
Brag.
No.
You don't even get to brag?
You get bragging rights. You get more than bragging rights.
Oh, okay.
If you win one of the Whoops tournaments, you get this amazing, beautiful, fantastic trophy.
Whoa.
It's a Doc Demon tournament. Tells you
Nice.
when it is.
Nice.
This year, you can't look back on it and say, though, I'm a winner, because it doesn't say winner on it no more.
Oh.
It will for next year.
You can write it on in Sharpie.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That way, whenever they look back on it and they're feeling bad about themselves, they can look at it and say, I'm a winner that day.
I was a winner once.
Yeah.
Yep. One time, long time ago.
Nice.
You get a bait towel
Whoa.
way out there. It's representing the Woke series. You get a River Cats tackle towel.
Nice.
They are helping us sponsor the tournament. Oh man, that just keeps going here.
But wait, there's more.
There is
Exactly.
still more to be had. There is a Lisa Swain catfishing lady bait towel.
Man, you'd be decked out for the whole season.
Hey man, you got enough bait towels to keep your hands clean for a little while.
That's right.
Randy, the old gray hair fisherman.
Must be a carp fisherman because that pack bait's messy.
No, skipjack's worse. Skipjack's worse. And our final sponsor of the year is Swain Appraisals. You get 5 bait towels. You get stickers. Get all kinds of stuff. But
Hey, that's worth the entry fee.
Yeah.
yeah, it's worth
Yeah,
it.
I'd pay that fee.
If you want to fish it, come on and find us next week.
Okay.
Message Lisa. Again, it's for the fun. It's a tournament where if you're going to be out fishing, you might as well throw a couple extra rods out and that are lightweight to fight the fish.
What if you're already in a tournament? Can you still do it?
We don't care.
An in-person tournament. Okay, cool.
We don't care.
Charlie's in.
I'm going live this Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I need to confirm the people that have already signed up. If you have not signed up, like Randy said, you have until next Thursday night, and that is the cutoff. No questions asked. That is the deadline for it. So, but I am going live Tuesday to once again go over the rules, go over who I've got on my list, and possibly add more. So
Great tournament.
Absolutely, Bogey. As long as we keep it free and fun, and that's our number one rule, is to have fun. If we keep it free and fun, it's great. What's this? Eric had to reschedule it. What's she got talking about there?
his Bible study night.
Oh, okay.
Buggy asked up.
Okay. Yeah, we got to, that's another cool thing. We got Bible studies that we talk about and we can advertise on here, and we're all happy about it. We're fortunate this year. Rivercast Tackle's helping us. Our company, of course, is helping us, and that way we can write off a little bit on Uncle Sam's stuff. But
That's always nice.
you got to beat him up somehow. But what is your ultimate goal, Julie?
With the conservation situation?
Conservation situation.
Honestly, my goal is, in a perfect world, it would be trying to find common ground between everyone that enjoys catfishing, whether it's for recreation, tournament, pay lake owner, commercial fisherman, finding some kind of common ground, a bridge, a respect. That would be the goal, to respect the resource instead of exploiting it for personal profit and gain, and to just preserve the pastime for those who generationally commercial fished. Because that, if we keep going this route, in my mind, catfishing won't be what it's always been over these years, because the value has been driven up so high because of their weight. So finding a common ground between everyone that is enjoying catfishing, because I think everyone has the right to enjoy catfishing, and not necessarily exploit it, and then preserve these fish for future generation, our children and their children. That would be my goal.
Okay.
Well, I think one thing is if it just starts, I don't think it's just going to end with catfishing. I think that's just the start of a slippery slope. Because once catfishing done, then it's just going to move on to the next one. It's going to eventually wipe it all out. Like if you don't keep doing what you're doing now, which is amazing, at the end of it, you ain't going to have fishing for nobody.
Yeah. And that's that, because the thing is if there is a resource that's not regulated, there is somebody out there that's going to exploit it. The love of money is the root of all evil. Money isn't. The love of money is the root of all evil.
But you can't take a man's livelihood away from him.
No.
You got to regulate the size of the fish. But the guys that are fishing for a living, for eating fish, they've been, they're gonna always be there.
Yeah.
We just need to curb them back a little bit on the monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Leave them hanging around. But like the saltwater guide, Captain Dave Hansen, he comes in our lives quite a bit over here on the catfish side. And he battles the conservation out in California and trying to stop this and stop that. I mean, they're taking all their rights away from them. They're taking all the fishing away from them out there. And guys, if you don't think it can happen to the catfish community, you're wrong. It will.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing everything that they can. But one thing, folks, to think about, 36 days away from the gathering. It's April 24th and through the 26th at Chester Frost Park. Going to be a lot of people there all week long. We're going to be fishing and chitting and chatting and sitting around enjoying each other's company. Come on down and join us. It's at Chester Frost Park in Hickson, Tennessee, which is just north of Chattanooga. You can't use the excuse that it's too far because Greg Burgess is coming in from South Central Texas, and so
Burgess is in Louisiana.
Greg
Burgess is in Louisiana. He lives in Houma.
Okay, I'm wrong again.
He's the bottom of the boot.
But we got people that's coming in from Louisiana. We got people coming in from Illinois, Ohio.
Troy is going from Texas.
We got people coming from everywhere coming in there, and it's a blast. It costs you zero money. Going to have a big fish contest that weekend. You got to be at the gathering to fish a big fish contest. It starts Friday morning at 8 a.m. It ends Sunday morning at 11 a.m. You have to sign up at either with me or Daryl or Woody. And so that means that you can contact my wife, Daryl's wife, or Woody's wife to get signed up. This big fish contest is giving away $1,000 first place. And we'll pay back 5 places. And if you know what it costs to enter that tournament, it's $0.
Wow.
Due to the sponsors we've got for the gathering, don't cost you nothing.
And they even feed you.
Huh?
And they even feed you.
That's what I was thinking to say. We got the Golden Whiskers Awards being presented Friday night, and there will be a dinner with it. Saturday at lunch, the gathering will have a dinner, and they feed you. It don't cost you nothing to come hang out. Don't cost you nothing to come fish. Don't cost you nothing to eat. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal, y'all.
You need to come, y'all. Hey,
I know. You know that my business partner for Giant Tamer lives in Hickson.
Does he?
Yeah, I was like, I'm texting him right now. Like, there's this event right there in Hickson.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Giant Tamer. I got to get a hold of him. What's his name or her name?
Anthony Dudley. He lives right there. He just said, well, that's crazy. Small world, huh?
He needs to come out there. Ain't no selling. Ain't no advertising. We do, or we do.
Well, he's got a boat. I was just saying he can come and just attend. I ain't talking about.
You don't even have to have a boat. If you want to come out there and just hang out, or if you want to come out there and you want to fish, all you got to do is say something other than somebody's got a boat. We'll find somebody to take you out fishing.
Well, I was just thinking he could just come and go fishing and do all the things that's right in his backyard.
That's right.
If he's home, he works out up north too, but
and he sleep in his own bed that week.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
That's home water right there.
Yeah. But it's a big get together. It's a bunch of YouTubers. We're inviting TikTokers this year. We're trying to get over to some of them.
Yeah.
People off of Facebook, and we've got 5 campsites along the river that are reserved for the ones that want to fish off the bank. There, they can throw up a tent, and sit there, or a canopy and sit there all weekend, and come down there and fish. It's no pressure on nobody for anything.
That's cool. Sounds like fun. Is this the first year event, or have you guys done this before?
This is the 5th year.
Oh my goodness, that's cool.
Daryl Morris, who's supposed to be here, he's supposed to be hosting the show tonight.
Well, I got a friend like that too. I don't know where she's at. I'm like, text her, are you okay? But,
I know where Daryl's at. Daryl's laying in bed. He ain't feeling real good. And, he's getting lazy. He's getting soft. He's getting old. He's getting old.
Yeah.
And there's one of the saltwater guys right there fishing with Matt Ryan. Matt is one of our saltwater guides, and been in here he's one that comes in. He works somehow with Dave Hansen, Captain Dave, and shoot, man, his Chrissy, he's working on his fans only page tonight. He's the only fan that he's got.
That's funny.
But hello, Jeff Bill. You almost missed us tonight.
Yeah, you're close.
I was hoping we'd have a better show since Daryl wasn't here, but that's just part of it. But, well, Julie, you got anything else that you want to throw out there?
No, I appreciate you guys having me on. I think I've only been on 2 This is my second one, I think, besides as a co-host. So I appreciate you guys having me. And when she said, "Oh, we don't need Charlie," I was like, "Okay."
I told you, I met you 2 years ago at CatCon.
Yeah.
I walked up to you again last year at CatCon. I run into you down, a couple of times at Were you in Vicksburg?
Yeah, I've been to Vicksburg 2 years in a row.
I run into you down there.
Yep.
And I told Lisa, I said, we got to get her on the show. And all I got to do is say something to Lisa, and she makes it happen.
Yep. That's what us ladies are good for. When you got a good one, we just make stuff happen.
Well,
we did have a long conversation the other day.
Yeah. Yep. Oh my gosh, I was so tired that day too. I've just been traveling a lot to different shows and stuff. I'd been to West Virginia and then Akron. I was in Akron that day, putting a lot of miles on. Oh, that's Charlie.
Charlie.
That's funny.
Yeah, Charlie is worse than Steve. He would have said 3 words the whole thing.
He's gotten better, I will say. He had, at the end of our live streaming and stuff, he'd gotten a lot better, a lot more vocal. People are like, man, it's just great to see how much he's grown because, originally he used to sit like this on the boat and he'd like look over and then like just keep watching the rods and then he'd look at the camera. He wouldn't talk much. But then
I remember. I was watching him.
Yeah, and then he got really comfortable. He was doing, he'll never be anything other than who he is. Like, he's not there to be your entertainer, but he'll tell you information on how to catch a fish, So that's when he kind of grew.
And I've watched him a lot. So.
Into a little beautiful butterfly.
Yeah.
He did miss it. He wasn't in here when I told him. I let everybody know that my husband's usually always right. So.
Yes, I did say that.
He did say that, Charlie. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Hey, and it's documented so you can rewind it anytime you need it to be like, wow, look right here.
Yep. Because sometimes when I really am pretty confident about my thoughts and decisions, and then he's right, I'm like, well, I'm not going to deny it. I'll admit it. When I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong.
If I'm wrong, I'll convince you that you're wrong.
Yeah, that's just not, it's just not me. I'm just so go with the flow all the time. Just pretty chill.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Steve, you got anything to throw out there tonight?
No, that was an awesome show. It was great learning about the catfishing and great. That's awesome. You guys are taking the lead on the conservation part, and like with you gals and Miss B, they need women out there doing what you guys are doing because you're the only ones I'm really hearing getting stuff done, to be honest.
Yeah, I just think that, I don't know, for the most part, I'm humble enough to not show a lot of hate towards people that don't have the exact views as I do. And I'm not so extreme to believe that, it has to be done one way for everyone to see eye to eye. So I guess that's kind of where I try my best to be. There is a bias because obviously I'm on the recreational side. There is a bit of a bias, but we always, at least Ashley and I, try our best to like stay neutral and try not to sling some things, but we can't always help how our guests feel and how they present information, but
Oh, exactly.
we try. We try what we can.
That's all you can do.
Yep.
Well, guys, Julie, don't run off.
Okay.
Guys, we appreciate everybody coming in tonight. We're going to get this thing wrapped up and call it done. Thank you for supporting us every week. We appreciate it. God bless you all. We love you. We'll see you next week.